You're very welcome to the Craic Rambles podcast. I'm your host, Craic Boy Mental / Comrade Craic, and on today's episode, we're going to discuss such scumbags as Elon Musk, Donald Trump, Kanye West, and Vince McMahon. We're going to talk about their current ongoings, what they're doing, what problematic things they're doing right now, and have a bit of fun with it, as you know I like to do on this podcast. But so over the weekend, I saw Elon Musk went to Donald Trump, one of his rallies, and it was very interesting, the videos that came back from that event. I actually, as an autistic person, I never realised how autistic Elon Musk is. Like I said before, we need to divide autism into different categories for people who are differently along the spectrum. And he's definitely category 2 or 3 autism. I always would have thought someone like that, because he's achieved so much in life and he's so intelligent, that maybe he was only slightly autistic. Maybe he felt awkward at a party once or twice, or maybe when he goes into a room filled with 1,000 people, he gets a little bit of a sensory overload. But no, what I saw at that Donald Trump rally was he's autistic as fuck. Elon Musk is extremely autistic, and I saw the jumps he was doing as well. Now, I wouldn't put the jumps he was doing down to autism. I would put down to inebriated autism, where, a lot of autistic people in society, they will resort to alcohol. I know I have in the past, as a means to fit into a social situation. It kind of takes you out of yourself, takes you out of your own head, and kind of helps you feel normal in an otherwise world that doesn't feel normal. So that's why so many autistic people rely on alcohol. So when I looked at those jumps Elon Musk was doing, the woo, definitely I thought that's autistic, but it's inebriated autism. He's had a few drinks to go up on stage. And Elon Musk, he's clearly very smart and very rich, but his people speaking skills have never been his talent. So if he'd go in front of 1,000 hillbillies, I can see why he'd want to drink. The thing about hillbillies is, and not even hillbillies, you know what? Let me get rid of that term. The thing about Americans as a whole is they don't like autistic people. They'll mock the shit out of autistic people. But what they do love more than they hate autistic people is billionaires. Because the way most Americans think is, hey, I don't got a pot to piss in, but I'll be damned if I try and stop that man from getting his bread. Up the millionaires, up Donald Trump, up Elon Musk. This is my America. Make America great again. That's kind of their headspace. Even if they're living in poverty, they still love the billionaires, because the billionaires are the American dream to them. That's what it represents, to see somebody get very rich and become a millionaire or billionaire, even if they're completely broke, so that just goes back to how people, just push celebs on godlike status nowadays. They act as though because someone has money that means they're intelligent, and it doesn't always mean they're intelligent. Oftentimes it means they've garnered their success from either nepotism or anything that people often underestimate in all lines of life: luck. They probably got some of their money from luck. So the Americans, the Trump fans, they love Elon Musk now, because I don't know what they have on him. Firstly, Elon Musk is a South African. Can we talk about that? Obviously, he's a colonizer, or he's Dutch South African, or I don't know what term you'd use for white South African, but he's not even American. So I don't know why he's on stage talking about make America great again when he's South African. But I guess America is so powerful that whoever's their president does kind of influence us all. But it was very strange. I have to say as well, a lot of white liberals, I've seen them be very ableist towards Elon Musk. And I know I opened up this podcast making my jokes about Elon Musk and how autistic I think he is. But to be fair, I am actually autistic. So I think I have a little bit of leeway when it comes to this conversation. But I see with a lot of white liberals, what they do when someone with a disability says something they don't agree with, they then point out their disability and use it as an excuse to be ableist. In a way that, say if a woman came on stage and she was saying something I don't agree with as a liberal and or as a leftist. Fuck the liberals. As a leftist. And I said, oh, she's just, she's a useless bee, or oh, she's a see you next Tuesday. People would rightfully call me out as a misogynist. Or if a gay fella went up on stage and he said something I don't agree with, and I was like, oh, whatever slur, whatever homophobic slur, people would rightfully call me out as a homophobe. But when it comes to disabled people saying or doing things you don't agree with, they're free, free game then to say whatever you want about them. So you'd see a lot of like people you think are left wing that would be on people with disabilities side, kind of using Elon Musk's autism as a weapon to try and hurt him with, which isn't right. And I think the reason why there's this double standard in society where, left-wingers, they won't call you out for your race, they won't call you out for your gender, your sexuality, but they will point out your disability if you say something wrong, is because in general, disabled people, neurodivergent people, they don't have a loud enough voice in society. So that's why people, you see radical leftists and they'll freely use the R word. They'll freely say, oh, he's an idiot, he's slow, when they want to talk down someone who's on the right wing, not remembering that when you use words like that, you're not only bringing down the person you want to bring down on the right, but you're also bringing down other marginalised disabled people who haven't done anything to you. So maybe watch your language, and it's like I always say, the reason why it always seems like disabled rights and disabled slurs aren't tackled as aggressively by the left is because there's not enough people fighting for those issues on the left. It's like if you saw outside your government building one person screaming disabled rights, or 10 people screaming disabled rights, you'd be like, what are those clowns doing? But if you saw 5,000 women outside that same building saying women's right, you'd be like, yeah, I kind of believe in them because there's 5,000 of them, so there must be merit to what they're saying. It's simply a numbers game, because if you'd 5,000 disabled people out that same building, you'd probably also be like, oh, okay, what they're saying must have some legitimacy as well. So that's just how it is in society. People don't really respect disabled people, and it comes out in the Elon Musk discourse again, where you could just call him out for being a scummy person. You could just call him out for using X to enable right-wingers and enable misinformation. You could just call him out on that, but instead people resort to just mocking his disability, which isn't right. It isn't a good look for you. So stop it, guys, and be nicer to each other. But also over the week I was watching the